I also needed one of these. Website, okay? So the website was important because what that allowed me to do was to show people, once I had pitched them, that I've got this great company, you know, I'm gonna be able to provide you with staff. I need them to be able to go online, which they will do, to make an assessment and see how professional, how real is what this guy's saying, how real is it? I needed them to go online and see that it was professional and that any other added information I could relay up there to help secure the business. So I have a laptop, I have a mobile phone, I have a website. What else do you think I need? Business cards, yeah? So I had my business cards, because when you network, when you meet people, you need to be able to give them cards. Not everyone's going to remember everything you say at that point. So you need to be able to ensure that when they walk away, that they've got something that makes them go, oh yes, I remember this guy. And you want your business card to stand out. It's got to stand out. Most people are going to leave it on their desk or in their drawer. It's got to stand out. And believe it or not, it does work. I've given my business card to people who've called me 6 months later. I don't even remember them, but they remember, you know, because when handing a business card to a potential customer, as a salesperson, you want to make sure that they remember you. You want to say all the right things. So when they see your business card, they're like, oh yes, this guy, he said he could really sort me out with staff. And it sounded really good. I just didn't need them at the time, but now I do. Next thing, the phone rings. So do make sure the information you put on a business card is something that's gonna last long term. You know, don't start changing your email and whatnot. You could be losing potential business. Or if you do change it, tell your IT person to forward any emails to the old address to your new one. If you're really good, and also following GDPR, you'll be contacting all of your customers or clients, telling them about the change in contact anyway. So, laptop, to record all the data for all my admin, storing all my information. My phone, to call employers and to call customers. Website, to make sure people can see what I'm about, any information. It can work for me when I'm not working, yeah? On the website, there's a platform there for people to register where they can say, I'm looking for, or employers can say, I'm looking for. So when I'm asleep and I wake up, there's information there. Business cards to give to people to help win the business. What else do you think I need? Do I need an office? Nope. Office? No. Cost a lot of money as well. Do I need staff to begin with? No, I don't. I can start off small by myself, saving myself a ton of money here. Because I don't have an office, I don't have utility bills, I don't have rent, I don't have business rates, okay? Because I don't have staff. Staff are probably the biggest expense of any business. You look at any business, you look at the amount of money that's coming out per year, the biggest expense is staff. Taxes, national insurance, holiday pay, and of course their salary or wages, yeah? So, okay, 500 quid, that's cool, but recruitment is a very competitive market. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of recruitment agencies. And to be honest with you, in order to defeat or to get one above these recruitment agencies, more often than not, you're gonna need a huge amount of capital. Unless you apply this one simple feature. You find a gap in the market. You find an area where you don't actually need money to beat the game or to beat the competitor. You just happen to find a gap that no one's thought of. And once you're in that gap, like Facebook, like Twitter, like Instagram, like YouTube, once you deliver a platform that covers that gap, which is a common issue for most people, and you're providing a solution, they'll jump on it. And you don't need money. You don't even need much for marketing and advertising. Word of mouth will do the sales for you, okay? So the key thing that I targeted, the niche market I found was this. I started this business, this was around about 2007, and the labor market was in power, yeah? Lovely, yeah. For those in America, they're more like our Democrats, yeah? The conservative being more like the Republicans. So the Labour Party was more for the people, you know, those who were poor, who were lacking money, and they realized they had this huge deficit, a huge number of unemployed people. And the demographic that filled this huge number of unemployed people were as follows. Ex-offenders, single parents. Yeah, which majority of them were mothers. So I'm going to put here single mums. Very, very rarely did I ever meet like a sort of single dad. Very rarely. More often than not, 99% of the time, single mums. Ex-offenders. What else made up the unemployment rate? Those with disabilities. And you might even be thinking to yourself, ooh, how do you place people with disabilities into it? That must be a lot harder. It is. But also, you know, disabilities, I learned, has a wide range. There are some people looking at them. You could, like me right now, I can have a disability and you won't know about it. It could be very intermittent. It could come sporadically. There could be triggers that as long as I don't put myself next to them, it won't show. But definitely classed on the registrar as a disability. And they did make up the unemployment. And last but not least was the youth. And the youth encompassed something called NEET. N-E-E-T. Yeah, I'll spell it here. It's N-E-E-T. And what it stood for is not in employment, education, or training. N for not, E for education, the other E for employment, and the last E for training. So they're like, you know, they're not doing anything and they're unemployed. You can't even get someone who's unemployed to become employed if they don't have no education, they don't have any employment history, they've got no training. So the key was to target them by giving them education, giving them training, and helping them to get into sustainable employment. So when I looked at all of these, I thought, there isn't really a recruitment company that targets these people. If anything, this is what recruitment companies run away from. You're an ex-offender, not trying to place you, mate. You might steal, you might rob, you might this, that, and that. Single mum, oh gosh, you can't do any hours, you're too busy looking after your children. Disability, you don't have the capacity to run the work. Youth, you're too young, you've got no experience, you've got no knowledge, you've got no qualification. All those mindsets were based on naivety. These were some of the best candidates I ever worked with. As a recruiter, loved it. Do you know who were the best? Ex-offenders. Because when an ex-offender decides that they want to now go on the straight and narrow and turn their life around, they put in more. They put in 150% whenever they get the job. I remember Argos over in North London. It's in Tottenham Hale Retail Park. There are still people that work there today that I put into employment there. No word of a lie. And they contacted me and they said, Kwame, send us more of your ex-offenders. Don't worry, if you go there now, you know, they're not going to steal your products or run your credit card numbers. Again, a lot of that is based on naivety. But what they actually found was these guys were so for it. They were so hardworking. They had a point to prove that, you know what, I know I'm coming in with a negative vibe. I want to prove to you that I'm better than the rest. They were the best. I had so many employers literally saying, they wouldn't say, can you send us more ex-offenders? No, that's not PC. But what they would say is, can you send us more of your clients? Because they're amazing. And of course, they were paying them a minimum wage and they were getting maximum work. So why not? So by targeting this demographic, ex-offenders, single moms, disabilities, and the youth, which was like 16 to 25, was classed as youth, I was able to corner the market. Now, the government was issuing a huge amount of funding to put these people into work. They were so desperate to reduce the unemployment rate. One company I was targeting, called Working Links, they were receiving approximately, on one of their contracts, £4,000 if they put someone into work and they sustained for 3 months. So if they got you and you were classed as an ex-offender and they put you into work, they could get like £4,000. If you were long-term unemployed, you've been out of work for like 6 months, receiving benefit, and they put you into work, they'll get like £400 for putting you into work, and then another 3,600 once you sustained for 3 months. So a lot of the focus was sustainable employment. So as long as the candidate stayed in work for 3 months, this huge amount of funding was there for anyone who could provide that solution to receive. Simple. So what I did with my very basic £500 was I got myself a laptop, a mobile. I bought a laptop, an Acer for about £200. I bought myself a Nokia Lumia phone for about £40. It was a smartphone, touch screen, all the works, get for like £40. I got myself a SIM-only contract. So let's actually start jotting down these finances here so we can see how it adds up. So laptop, £200, yeah? Just put that here as LT. Then MB for mobile phone, I bought a Nokia Lumia for £45. Then I got myself a SIM-only contract, which you can get between £10 to £15 a month. What does SIM-only mean? Well, when you go to get a mobile contract, the huge proportion of what you're paying for is for the device. If you're just getting a SIM card with unlimited calls, you'd be surprised. You can actually get a SIM card across most networks for about £10 to £15. We can even get you less than that, but you would have to contact us. Email info@kbconsultancy.uk and we'll sort you out. But £10 to £15 a month for a SIM. So that gave me, I don't know, like 10 gig of data and unlimited calls and texts. So I could make all the calls I wanted without a worry about, an extortionate fee. As long as I kept within my data, I was spending between £10 to £15 a month. Mobile phone, 45 quid, £200. So already I've not even touched 300 quid yet. Then, if you like, for the contract that I got with the SIM only, I was then able to do hotspot sharing. So I was using the internet from my data to run my laptop. Yeah. So my internet was already covered. Then I was fortunate enough with my good relationship building to get myself into a location which allowed me to work as a workstation for free. And you've got places like hotels, you've got like Ace Hotel in Liverpool Street. Most of the Premier Inns or travel lodges have like a communal area where you get free Wi-Fi. All you have to do is buy a coffee and you can sit there all day long. Yeah, and you can run your meetings from there, you can meet your candidates, your employers and so forth. More often than not, many people are happy that you'll come to a location where they reside to have a meeting rather than coming down to your office. If you're trying to place someone into work, forget the demographic I was targeting. Let's imagine you're trying to place a project worker, a project manager. They're in work 9 till 6. They've now got to come down to your office after work to discuss a job opportunity they want to go for. Long. So you can simply go to a Costa Coffee near where they work, meet them after. They'll love you for that. It will also put you above the market, the rest of the competitors, because no one else is going out to meet them. But that's something else. So my internet was there. So I was able to use the internet. Obviously my mobile, my laptop and my mobile was running all off my SIM-only contract, which was costing me £10 to £15. I then went on moo.com, and got business cards, BC. And that cost me, I think it was about £200 for 500 business cards. And obviously the more pretty you make the business cards, the more it costs. To be honest with you, you can go, the first business cards I made was on Vistaprint, and I think that cost me like £40 for a silly number of business cards, okay? But even that, £200, those were my business cards. Again, I didn't need an office and I didn't need staff. All of this is totaling to less than £500 on an initial month startup. The only reoccurring fee was my SIM-only contract of £10 to £15. Now, if you've got a business model that's working, that's nothing. Nothing. So, how did the business work?